This video is brought to you by DevMountain, a coding bootcamp that offers in-person and online courses in a variety of subjects including web development, iOS development, user experience design, software quality assurance, and Salesforce development. For more information, consult the link in the description below. So in this video, we're going to be continuing on with the previous set of videos on this topic. And what we're going to be doing mostly in this video is just kind of some of the pre-processing that's required for when we encounter a YouTube URL. We want to kind of effectively process that. We want to be able to extract the ID. Here I've kind of hard coded that ID, but we're going to be, remember, parsing a list of YouTube links. And we want to essentially be able to, given a YouTube link, extract that ID part of it. Likewise, remember when we kind of downloaded all of those contents, all those files, we had very nice names that were separated by underscores. All of the content was lowercase. So we want to take like a title that's got like maybe some other symbols like colons and dashes and things like that, various uppercase characters. We want to convert that to everything lowercase, all of the spaces separated by underscores, and then all of the extra characters that are not numeric or letters. We want to remove those from the string and then just kind of deal with the alphabetic or numeric characters of the string. So we're going to be dealing with that kind of pre-processing step in this video. So what I'm going to do actually just to do that is I'm going to comment out some of these things just because I think it's a little bit easier for us to wrap our head around some of these things. We've kind of got the base concept of the minimal viable product, if you will, for formulating a GET request based on the criteria that we've specified here in terms of the URL that we've constructed to interface with the YouTube Data API. What we want to do now is kind of do some of the more nitty-gritty stuff and actually deal with those links that we're going to be dealing with. So if I go over tab, this is the test links CSV file where each of these entries in this file constitute a YouTube URL, where again the last component of which is the ID of that respective video. So what we want to do is want to loop through each of those and actually extract the URL from that, the ID from that. I'm just going to copy one of these over and I'm just going to paste it here because what essentially we want to do is we want to, I'm just going to call this S, wrap this in a string or create a string out of this, and what we want to do is we want to, given a string formatted in this way, we want to actually extract that last component, which is going to be the ID. And what I think makes sense to do is create kind of a class that's going to be responsible for dealing with these sorts of things. So I'm going to call this class helper. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to create a class called, let's just call it helper. And inside of this class, what I'll do is I will create a constructor for now. I'll just go ahead and say pass because I don't think there's going to be anything in this constructor. And then I want to create a function which is going to be, let's call it ID from URL. It's going to be a member of the class that'll take self, and then it's also going to take a given URL where it's going to take that URL and extract the last component of which is the ID. So in this function, what I essentially want to do is I want to return URL.rSplit, and then we're going to split on the last slash, and then we want to put a comma 1, and then that's going to give us a tuple of two things, the first part of that split and the second part, which is precisely the part that we're after. So instead of saying index 0, I want index 1, which is going to be the component following the last slash of that string that we're given. So what I want to do is let's just take this hypothetical URL that we've constructed here, that we've copied from our list, which we eventually will loop over. And then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and create a helper object. So I'm going to say helper is equal to helper. And then what I want to do is I want to say helper dot, let's just say, what is it called? ID from URL. And we're going to feed it in S. And what we can do is we can go ahead and just print this out to see if it actually extracts the ID as we expect it should. So we can clear the terminal. And I'm going to say Python, name of this file is Python YouTube Downloader. And we can see that once we run it on that URL, we get precisely the ID portion of that, which is the last part following the last slash of this URL. So exactly what we want to do in that case, so we'll just keep that like that is. And then the next thing that we want probably in this class as well is something that's going to be responsible for taking a title, let's just call it T, that's going to look something like this, like neural networks in Python, and then maybe we can say part 1 dash part A, so something like that. It's not an actual title, but there's a title that this is a very similar style of format to the titles that I have in my videos, where it's got some symbols that are non-numeric or alphabetic, like these colons, double dashes. It's got letters, numbers, things like that. What I want to do is I kind of want to take all of the spaces, convert them to underscores, and then remove any components or any items of this string that are not alphabetic or numeric, and just take them out because I don't think they give too much information to the actual content of the title. And the nice thing about this is we can wrap this in a very concise regular expression. So I'm going to add this in the helper class. I'm going to say, let's call this function title to underscore title. It's going to be self because it's a member of the class, and then it's also going to take an initial title, which is going to be a string. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to say title is equal to re.sub, and what we're going to do is we're going to put in the actual regular expression here, which in this case is very easy to write. It's just /w underscore and then plus. So pretty much it's going to do exactly what we want to do. We want to substitute that with underscore. So it's essentially what this is going to do is it's going to take any of the spaces, or any of the spaces that it extracts after getting rid of all of the non-alphabetic or numeric characters, and replace all of those in between spots with a space. It's going to apply that to the title that we feed into the function, and it's going to redefine that as this title variable there. And then we're just going to return title. And actually what I'll do is I'll say return title.lower, because I kind of want everything to be lowercase, just because it's a little bit cleaner. That way we don't have random uppercase characters, and it just looks a little bit, I guess, nicer when you try to organize these things. So I'm just going to make sure that it actually applies properly to a title of this form. So after this, what I'll do is I'll say print helper dot what is this called? This is called title to underscore. I'm going to feed it in the title, so that's T in this case. So I'll write that and then I'll run it. So again, we have the nice ID that's extracted from the last part of that, and we also have the title, which has been kind of converted in a nice way where all of the spaces are underscores, all of the colons, dashes, everything like that has been removed thanks to the regular expression. So we have that, which is all ready to go. So this is kind of the maybe not so interesting portion, but it's kind of a nice and essential step for formatting the content that we're going to be dealing with. In the next video, we're going to be actually kind of condensing the other parts of it, which are going to be responsible for extracting the JSON and then navigating that JSON structure to extract title, description, things like that. So that's going to be it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. The code's going to be available on my GitHub, and I'll see you in the next video.